for one, am so appreciative when you guys give us those girlfriends. You know, those 4 friends, those girls that we know and love. My girlfriends, I love those girlfriends. Can we get some new friends though? Some different friends? Other friends. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Harlem. Now, this is a new series available in full on Amazon Prime. It stars Megan Good, Grace Byers, and also some newcomers that you might not know about just yet. We also get to see plenty of familiar faces. Now, before I get into my pros, you know, what I really liked about this show and where I think it's going, and also my cons. There were some cons here that I would really love to discuss with you guys. I need you to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're gonna come back and discuss all things 4 Friends, Harlem. If you're new here, subscribe. You see my subscribe count. Come on.
Go back.
Hopefully subscribe to see more of me. Let's get into the show. Jumping into the show, we have to start with the creator and the producer, which gave us all a sense of, I've seen this before. This has given us real insecurities. That's because this show was produced and created by Tracy Oliver, who also worked on The Misadventures of an Awkward Black Girl, aka Issa Rae. She also gave us, you know, things like Girl Trip. She did some executive producer co-writing situations there. So when we see things in the show, like them making sure they input therapy, those, you know, flashbacks, a little bit of the comedy, you know, job insecurity and freedom, you know, insecure. I see you. I saw Megan when she had her mirror bitch moment. I caught that. So now that we have an executive producer who is all too familiar with the dynamic of the 4 friends, we get into our cast. We have Is it just me? Like, do you just get excited when you see Megan Good? Because we've seen her come so far, and it's just like, yes, she's still out here getting work. Amazing. But we have Megan Good here as Camille. We also have Grace Byers as Quinn, aka my ass. I was like, oh, it's Boo Boo Kitty. Boo Boo Kitty. Remember when Empire was everything? Yes. We also have newcomers here, Jenny Johnson, aka Ty, and we have Saniqua Sade, I hope I'm saying that right, here as Angie. But we also have Tyler LePlay here, aka Ian from The Pink. Soon as I saw him, and you just seen, you know, I just seen his profile, and I knew exactly who that was. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you throw it once, then you know she gon' shake it. 1, 2, right. Hey, got real stripper for a second. I was like, it's him. It's him. Where's Mississippi? Now, with us having our 4 friend, all too familiar dynamic, we get into, you know, them being from different walks of life, different personality traits, different careers and goal choices. And in each episode, we're on this journey with them as individuals, trying to conquer life, relationships, and careers, all while still having enough time to support each other, dress impeccable, have cocktails, and have endless penis everywhere at their leisure. Where are these friends? Where are these 4 friends? I'm so tired of people putting these 4 fucking friends in our face. I don't know none of these people. None of them. Now, after we, you know, take time to get to know these women who are clearly out of my tax bracket, we get, you know, really familiar scenarios. We have seen this foursome, this whole dynamic so many times, so we know what to expect. You know, we have our living singles, our Sex in the City, hell, even contemporary shows like Tyler Perry's Sisters, My Favorite Girlfriend, fucking Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. We gonna always have those four friends, and even my favorite, Girlfriends. I feel like everything after Girlfriends was mimicking Girlfriends. But we even have this in our most recent show with Run the World. Now, when are we gonna stop acting like this is not exactly the same damn show? Now, I did watch Run the World when it came on Stars. I did not review the show because I just didn't feel, you know, it was anything to write home about. It was a beautiful show, you know, covered some topics. There was, you know, some diversity there. You know, the elements were all there, but the show just didn't, you know, spark enough for me to feel like I needed to review it. But in watching this show, I couldn't help but see the parallels between Run the World and Harlem. This was the same shit. We have four friends, of course. It's New York based, these very rich, vibrant colors, the beautiful brownstones, the topic of gentrification in the neighborhood, that loud, ratchet, dark-skinned friend, the lead who's torn between her job and her relationship, the professor trying to keep her relationship, you know, a secret and manage having a child, and, you know, the chick who is torn with the past lover returning, and she's whether or not, you know, should I go back? Should I be with him? Stop me if this all sounds familiar. Now, even though if you blink, the both of these can be the same goddamn show, I feel like the Harlem show was the latter. I did enjoy this show a whole lot more and was drawn to it more than the Run the World. But this is also really, really funny. I enjoyed myself with this show. Let's get into the pros. Now, first off, I love that the show is really, really contemporary and feels like now. It doesn't feel dated, and it brings up a lot of topics, but it doesn't really feel preachy to me. It just felt really natural, and it felt fresh. Now, most of that freshness that I felt in the show came from our masked gay character friend, Ty. Now, Ty is a tech owner with her own company that is strictly for queer, gay, blacks. And it's like, why do I even have to explain why this is necessary? I love that they brought that into the forefront, that we are, you know, marginalized, we are the least desirable. And if I want to make a damn app that is strictly for us, I should be able to do that. Now, we also get into her complex about dating outside of her race, and we get a lot from Ty's perspective. And though it may be a bit biased, it's a very open and honest conversation about feeling like she is selling out. I absolutely love that. Them injecting the treatment of Black women when they go to the hospital and seek treatment. Like, child, I almost fell out when, you know, she was having those pains and, you know, she collapsed. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder what it is. And it was like, yeah, you're suffering from anemia. Let's get your blood transfusion and get you out of here. And I was like, oh, my heart. Yes, girl, sickle cell here. We about to die. Like, give us some blood because we ain't gonna make it. That was, you know, very refreshing to see. But we also get into the doctor not going that extra mile to give her an x-ray or get that second opinion, and so quick to throw meds her goddamn way like it's the fucking 80s. Like, look at me, I'm seeking treatment, I need some help. And the fact that, you know, she was discharged and everything and didn't, you know, they didn't properly look at her. And we always have a sense of that going on. I can't tell you, you know, how many doctors and such that people go through just to feel comfortable, just to feel taken care of. My goodness, I had whole fibroids and cysts. That is like a huge thing now. And you ain't even look, you ain't even care. Now, we also get a really good perspective of, you know, her dating life and how she maneuvers as, you know, this masked gay woman, like, child, it's no different from anybody else. I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm picking them up in the club, dropping them off, licky and going your way, and don't eat my broccoli and beef. Like, just go. I absolutely love that. And we even opened with a bang, with her being the first one to get, those love scenes in, and they kind of go, kind of far with it. I was like, oh, okay. Now, I, for one, of course, I am not a gay woman, but it's always interesting to get perspectives from everybody and just to see how she maneuvers. Like, you're maneuvering just like us. I don't know what I want. Maybe I do want, something carefree and open, or maybe I do want to get serious. I don't know. But that whole little scene of her dating another masculine woman, and it's just like, no, bitch, I'm breaking up with you first. I get to be the breakup E. Like, no, I'm breaking up with you. It was hilarious. We are very open. We even get to see Ty give a little head. I was like, oh, like, it all, like, just with me being so into dick, it's funny to me to watch people just get their life with another woman, and them exchange it's like, oh, like, she is really giving you what you need. This is amazing to watch. Like, because I just like, where's the dick, so they was teaching me all up and through the show. Like, look, freak nasty, some women don't need all that to get where they need to be. Some women can get what they need from some head. I am not one of those women. And we also get more pros even with our more simplistic characters like Quinn. Now, Quinn is a designer. She is trying to date, and she keeps coming up short, going on the worst fucking dates imaginable. And she never really had a whole phase. How many people can relate to that as far as women who never had one, just feeling like, man, I missed out. I should have had a whole phase. And we also get into her dating a stripper and getting out of her comfort zone and trying to decide if she really wants, to try to have a whole phase, or, no, let me stick true to myself. I like relationships. I like love. I'm not the, most outgoing, I can just sleep with someone and go on my way. I like relationships. I just want a nice guy. Who can relate to that? And I was nice. I was like, the stripper. I was like, it's Ernest. Got real one-on-one. I was like, it's Ernest. Hey, Ernest. Oh, nostalgia. And another thing I thought was really, really relatable, not having any, real backing and support in your career choices, or even just starting your own business in general. And we, inject more of that nostalgia in her having that, tough relationship with her mom, being able to give accolades and admiration and all of this to everybody else except her. Like, Molly, Harpo, what about me? What about me, Mom? Don't you see what I'm trying to do? I want your respect. I want your admiration too. When are you going to be proud of me? Give me, I'm trying, but she just can't see beyond, just giving her money. Speaking of the money and the nostalgia, when we saw the money, I was like, Pokey! It's Whitley Gilbert. It was Whitley Gilbert, and I was getting my goddamn Different World live. I was so excited. And we also have Angie here, not only injecting some comedy. Big nigga season was hilarious. Like, it's about to get cold. We need men with a little bit more fluff. Her and old Zoot on the hunt for a big nigga. That was hilarious. And even, them injecting even more with that, with her dating a bisexual guy that is, really, really contemporary and something really big to talk about, because there are more men coming out as bisexual and women just kind of having a complex of, what does that really mean? Like, it was just a topic here, and it was nice to see. It was like, oh, that's cool. Let's get together. Big nigga season hungover. Like, it was nice. First of all, Angie's afro was giving. It was everything. Also, Get Out the musical really sounded like it could slap. I would go see Get Out the musical. It was giving me my life. But we also really get into Angie's inner working as a person. She doesn't want to work a 9-to-5. She doesn't want to work for the establishment. She wants to be a singer, a part of the arts, a part of the, performing world. Like, if I can't do that, I don't want to do anything. And we also want to call, white women out on white woman tears. Karen, we also, I was living There's also a lot more that I want to discuss as far as Angie is concerned, but it's on the con side. And then we get into my last set of pros with our Camille character and all of the ambition that she has for work, in her dreams, in her plans, which was great to see here. She is really, really into, the past and the culture, and, gives these really, really good lectures, and she wants nothing more to be a permanent professor and plans to, change and move forward and be so great. But we also have Whoopi here, Maki Dada. I was so happy to see Whoopi Goldberg telling her, like, the job is, more than just you being Twitter figures. You're not just gonna get the job just because you're black and I'm black and you're my sister and I'm just so excited to help another sister. You, as my sister, have to come with it. You have to be great also and be dedicated to this job. You can't show up tipsy, show up late, not show up at all, being unprepared, and still expect to get ahead just because we black and we black and we black. Like, no, you have expectations to meet, and though it may be more expectations than the next, white counterpart, you still have to meet them. It was taking me out how Megan just felt like, but girl, like I was just watching. I was like, when is she gonna be a good employee? Like, what is going on? It just wasn't, she didn't, show her best characteristics at that moment, because she knew in her mind, based off of, the leading professor or whatever that she spoke so highly of at first, that loved her, giving her that job. But once, I even love that little moment with the professor when she's talking about, she referred to, oh, I'm talking about real women, and she went on the whole protest that made her lose her job anyway, and they were talking about different genders and what was bi and this is none. But I just like, oh, I'm from a whole different generation. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, because I don't. And we even took time to inject Camille making sure she made time to go to therapy, and how much it meant for her to go, like, no, I'm not Xing it out of my life. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I miss 5 sessions. I'm going to make sure I take my ass to therapy, which was great to see, because we need to do that more. And lastly, how much more contemporary can we get than eating ass? Like, when we get that whole scenario, that first episode of, it's been a while, should I or shouldn't I sleep with my, my student bringing me this apple? Like, he's coming on strong. First of all, his little game was weak. I didn't even feel like he was just all of that with his little ass. I was like, whatever. But, he was coming on strong. It's like, no, I'm going to let my guard down and be free. And, he's not in my class. What the fuck? And this dude, puts his whole legs in the air and says, go for what you know. Now, despite how we feel, eating ass is a huge topic at the moment, especially as far as men is concerned. It's the new, I don't know if it's new. I don't know. It's new to me. Whole sexual escapade of, getting your ass ate as a man. That's new. And very fresh, and it's a huge topic. Me personally, I don't get it. There's one thing, you want a little head, hey, I'll see what I can do. You want your ass ate? It was so funny, and you could tell, even her being a woman from a different time, she, and this clearly being a younger student, like, I don't know nothing about this. Like, what are you doing? You get your stuff and go, because I just don't know. Like, it's just something about a man being in such a vulnerable position to put his legs up. But it's not just that. It's your ass. It's your ass. You want me to eat your ass, sir? So now that we've gotten, eating the booty like groceries out the way, and we've covered all of my pros, let's get into the cons, because there were several here. Starting with our Camille character. Megan Good here as our Camille character and our lead character. Her whole love triangle and that dynamic, I was the least bit interested in it. Like, we have her longing and lusting for her past relationship with Ian, and he's here, he's newly engaged, soon to be married, and there's still love there. There's a lot of flirting, lying to meet up with each other, and it's just like, you have a perfectly good man at home who is very attentive. He listens, like he's very supportive. And I am just waiting for us to really finally have a realistic view of women in their decision making. Like, for one, when we have their whole dynamic, their will they or won't they, all this flirting. Mind you, this man has a whole relationship. They've kissed and everything, like secret rendezvous and shit. Like, no. But once we finally get that 5 years ago episode and we see what finally, drove them apart and had her creeping around on corners, ducking and dodging, watching him on the street, dodging his ass in the restaurant, it's like, oh, you guys were supposed to move and go to Paris, and it just seemed like he was not prepared. First of all, you would have had to drop everything that you work for, leave your place, go to somewhere where there is no financial security. You don't know what the outcome could be. Live in someone's guest room, and we can't even remember to renew our passport. But we were supposed to bypass that, all because he bought a ring. But throughout the episode, you have him, cowardly, watching her from afar, like really like low-key, like, girl, I'm in a relationship. Like, are you taking this personal? Are you trying to take down my restaurant? That, kind of trying to tantalize and tease her, send her messages. Are we making a mistake? All while this man is soon to be married. You have had a whole relationship with someone 5 years. This is 5 years ago. You have an established situation. So from my viewpoint, you're cheating. You're willing to sacrifice the man that you have, the good man that you have, for a cheater. Now, vice versa, unlike Paris, this man wants you to come to Chicago and is even willing to do the long distance things with you. But if you were to come to Chicago, you would have the job that you want. He's willing to offer you opportunity, security. So like, I was like, where is the realistic perspective of these type of situations? How long are we going to have the fairy tale love will conquer all endings, instead of just being realistic? Because I think realistically, a grown-ass woman would go for the man that was at home, correct? Like, I didn't see the appeal of love. Okay, whatever. That's all nice, but for the most part, this man, he was, really kind of in denial and a little wishy-washy as far as, do I want to be with you? No, I don't, girl. I'm getting married. Don't pull this. I'm getting married. And it was all up to her to go after him. And we were supposed to, relate to it because she's the one who broke it off. She's the one, who made the decision not to go. So she should have been the one to chase him when he returns, ready to get married, dropping little seeds of, doubt. Like, I low-key want to be with you, but I can't because I'm married. But if you check, like, girl, go to Chicago. Now, speaking of things, being a little realistic, I would love to get a more grounded show. I am so sick of the 4 friends in New York and Los Angeles dynamic. There has to be somewhere else to fucking have 4 girlfriends. It's always New York. It's always Los Angeles. It's never really grounded in reality. And we get those same 4 friends, the loud hood funny friend, the work obsessed friend who really wants a man, the bougie friend who comes from money, and either that strong-minded friend or the completely ditzy friends. We as women are multifaceted. We come in all shades, all colors, all personality types. We are an array of different things. It's okay to give us something different. We don't always have to have the same dynamics in the same goddamn city. Why do you think we gravitated so hard when we were first introduced to goddamn Issa on Insecure? She was different, she was awkward, and she was so goddamn relatable. We love that. Now, everybody can't, identify brownstones, lovely jobs, and, everything's at your leisure and all this. Like, no, we identify with Issa because she was struggling at her job, didn't know what she wanted to do, was living in the dunes in that small-ass apartment. Some of us still live in the dunes in small-ass apartments. Now, we also have a brief situation with the Jamaican accent. Y'all don't know how excited I was to see Whitley Gilbert, aka Jasmine Guy. And we ruined it all by giving her that fake Jamaican accent. Like, ma'am, ma'am. It was getting to be a bit much. Like, it's one thing to, you know, try to do something, then, you know, it's kind of like making fun. I was so, between Whitley, Jasmine Guy, and the friend Angie, it was getting a little like, okay, first of all, you're pretending to be a Jamaican, but you're supposed to be a whole purebred Jamaican woman and mother to our Quinn character. Willie ain't been more Jamaican, and like, if she would have came out with that country southern, I would have fell out, but whatever. She's trying to get away from that. She never wanted to be stapled as Whitley Gilbert, but the Jamaican accent was just not working. From Jamaican where it was Jamaican. I was so glad that they let the one character who was actually of some Jamaican descent, our Grace Byers, come in with some of that real Jamaican, you know. I was like, oh, it just sounded so authentic and so real, and gave it, you know, some substance, and it just didn't feel like people just blatantly like butchering Jamaican. Like, it helped a whole lot, because I was like, Jamaican. Now, we also inject a whole out of nowhere situation with Ty being formally married to a man, and it's just like, you know, I was in Georgia trying to be something that I wasn't. I married a man, I ran off, and, you know, we're still married, you know, 10 years later type thing. And it was like, oh. Now, it was shocking. I did not expect that, but it was kind of unbelievable that, you know, that scenario could play out for so long, and this man, her husband, or her family members just not have any inkling of what she's doing and where she is. Like, she's in Forbes. So, okay. So that, you know, that was a bit far-fetched to me. You know, it is mysterious to see what's going to come of that, but it just didn't seem realistic. But, you know, that's me wanting more of realistic friendships and scenarios in the shows that we are getting. Now we have one more, and I saved it for last on purpose. Let's get into Angie. Now, getting into Angie, I don't want the misconception to be like, oh, how dare they, like, we know Angies. Some of us are Angies. Like, there's nothing wrong with a character like Angie. We know her, we've seen her before, but does Angie always have to be in a dark-skinned body? Angie had ambition to be a singer, and since, you know, her record deal fell through and it didn't work out, she has no ambition to do anything else or establish, you know, let me do what I gotta do until I can get where I need to be. She just wants to sing, and if she can't do that, she doesn't want to do anything else. Now, not only is Angie loud and outspoken, can't hold water, constantly giving advice and saying things when she shouldn't be, she is constantly overflowing with sexual energy. Like, all of the, I don't know, with Angie, it just got to be a bit much. I love that they explored Ty and her kind of getting out there, getting it how she live, and not giving, you know, two fucks about it, like how I sleep with people. But just with Angie in particular, it was so, you know, rambunctious, like freak, fuck. Oh God, I need a man. Like, it was, there always tends to be, you know, to just be a little bit over with our darker characters. But, you know, after we establish, you know, hey, I want to get a little head from an Uber driver I just met in the front of the Uber that happens to be his home, so be it. We get into Angie just really not fitting into the circle. It doesn't even feel like the caliber of women in this friendship group would even associate with someone like Angie, because not only do we, you know, make her Dejanay 2.0, we make her a fucking freeloader. She is a user. Everything from clothes to jewelry to food to money, Uber X, dinners. And the bit really gets to be freaking annoying. Her whole dynamic really reminded me of Lynn from Girlfriends. And, you know, she was really artsy, not into the 9 to 5. She leashed off of Joan forever, but she also had 50 degrees and could always, you know, go off and get a job if she wanted to. She could be that caliber of woman. Here, it just seems like Angie is completely codependent on her friend. And, you know, if she left, she would just be homeless and destitute with nowhere to go. Like, really? We have to be that? And then not only do we do that, you just make her seem just ungrateful, and not even just that, but we don't even acknowledge or take serious that, you know, we're a user. We like kind of mistreat our friend who is allowing us to live with her and live off of her and use her under the umbrella of, you know, she's funny and she's my best friend, all while being loud and just disrespectful in her story at times and just all over the place. It just was a little bit off-putting, and I wish we could have given her a little bit more depth. They really did try with, you know, the whole Get Out situation. Like, yes, I'm all this and I'm that, but on the other hand, I know injustice when I see it. I know, you know, how to identify and read a white girl or call out a film, and, you know, I want justice, I want equality, I stand for something, but it can be completely overshadowed when we're Dijonay from the Proud Family. Like, But you guys, that was my recap of Harlem. I hope you enjoyed it. Those were my pros and cons for the show. I hope you can understand where I was coming from. If you can't, put that down in the bottom. You know I'm okay with that. But I did like the show. I did enjoy it. If and when season 2 comes out, I will definitely watch it. One more pro, why did they have to fuck up Ty's haircut? Like, I am a fade chick. Like, why? I am not a fan. And no disrespect to anybody out there, I am not a fan of the female round edge up. We didn't have to give sis that. We could have left her how she little taper in the back. You know what? It don't even matter. But I had a really good time with the show, and if I would definitely watch and continue to watch. This is quite refreshing in some points, and it has been more so entertaining for me, especially right now with our Insecure leaving out. And right now I'm not even sure if it's leaving out on a good note at the rate that the series is going. The video for the Insecure recap will be real nice, just to know that. But you know, you guys drop down and get the conversation going. Let me know how you feel about Harlem. What are your pros and cons? Are you looking forward to the show? Did you even watch the show? Did I make you interested to watch the show? Thank you guys so much for watching. I see you guys next time. Bye.